Good afternoon, subscribers. Welcome to episode 7 of the Palabook Club. We're discussing chapter 6 of The Art of Money by Bari Tessler. And it's a chapter called It's Never Just About the Money. It's Oliver Damien here. It's May 6th, Saturday, 4:13 p.m. And we have Janice all the way from Bali. How are you, Janice?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thanks so much. It's May 6th here as well, and it's about 2:30 p.m. And it's
Awesome.
super humid. Yes, it's hot.
Ah, it's hot.
Hot, hot,
Right.
hot.
Right. We're at the end of the philosophy part of the book. How are you feeling about that?
Good. I have lots of, I guess, things I'm still trying to figure out, but I've learned a lot as well, and I'm still enjoying it, and I'm excited to learn about, the things that are coming. Yeah, I'm excited. This has been a really good experience. So I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to continuing to advance with
the
the work.
practical stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, yeah, it's quite interesting this chapter because it's quite for me it hit me deep because as the title says, money is just like more of a pointer to some other deep issues, and it made me really look at myself like what is the issue that's underneath the money issues, right?
Yeah. I did that for me as well, but I'm still figuring it out. So I really like how she continues to reinforce, the fact that we're doing this in baby steps.
Mm.
Because, yeah, when I got to the end of the chapter and then when I read it again, getting ready to speak with you about it today, I wasn't quite able to completely put my finger on on some of these things for myself, but I'll get there. You don't have to do it all at once.
Yeah, and the way she started the chapter is talking about the freak outs of her husband, and I just had a sort of a freak out recently in terms of money, and it's just because of the cash flow thing because I've switched to freelancing. It's not as regular as a non-freelancing work, and so there was a time where recently I thought, oh shit, am I gonna make the bills and that? So I had to do the body check-in, which we discussed before, and it helped me ground myself. And then when I was grounded, I was able to think, what's the best way out of this? And it turned out it's asking for help from friends and family. And I was surprised how quickly and easily people came to my aid. So I thought this would be a weird thing to ask people because I've never really done it before, and it was good. It felt good to be supported this way.
That's so good. I'm glad. And did you do any type of ritual when you received the money?
I did sort of not formally, but I kind of felt it in my body, the receiving. It's like a,
Good.
and also it's like a kind of surrender to that point, and now I'm getting, but it's starting to flow, but it felt that that had to happen. It's a good, in a way, I was kind of my higher self, if you could call it, engineered this thing for me to experience that, you know?
Yeah, while we're reading the book.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
While reading the book, or it was like 2 years in the making, the whole deconstruction phase.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And this is part of it to to be really at the edge of things.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. And how about you? What's your main? That was my main personal experience of this chapter.
I don't know. This one was hard. Because normally I feel, I guess, like there's a lot more concrete thing for me to bring to the recordings. And this one actually, I don't know if I'd say it brought up a lot, but it brought up a lot of questions that I didn't end up answering, super firmly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is one thing. We were meant to record a couple days ago
Mm-hmm.
on my birthday, and I had a little case of the blues traveling alone on my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to stop what I was doing and go and sit down and do the exercise from this chapter where she suggests that you write a list of 50 things that you're thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I liked that she mentioned that because if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I do a gratitude journal about 4 times a week, and I usually post them on Instagram. But they're not normally 50 items long. So on Wednesday, I went and I started a list, and in the end, I actually got to 65 different things on my list that I was thankful for.
Wow.
And I do want to relate to anyone listening that it's just probably one of my best tips my favorite way to lift my mood when I'm feeling a little blue is to just completely stop what I'm doing and do a list of things that I'm thankful for. And it really helped that day and helps every day. But 65 things.
Awesome. You exceeded the target. Good.
Yeah, I know. So that was really good.
So maybe I'll go through my highlights so that we,
Okay. Yeah, and then I have a few as well.
yeah, give us a bit of structure to this episode. So can you see it?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I can see it.
Okay. So yeah, the first one was the story of Forrest, and here she outlines in this part on the she outlines that our money relationship brings us into direct contact with a whole range of deep, complex themes, including our relationship to pleasure, abundance, and thriving. So I think we talked about how in the past how money is like related to sexuality and that, and then how we access feelings of enoughness and safety. I think this is what I hit recently when with my freak out. It's a safety issue. Like, am I gonna be really? Am I gonna end up in the streets or something like that?
Uh-huh.
And then our capacity to feel worthy and valuable, our self confidence, self reliance, and resilience, our ability to get vulnerable and ask for help, which I've done, and
Yay, go Oliver.
it's like a it also deepens the connection between me and my family and friends. So I like it when she says, money always mirrors our inner world, the unresolved issues, suppressed gifts, and growing edges. So when we get brave and bring love and mindfulness to our money relationship, it can become a sacred training ground where we unravel old knots, practice new skills, and learn to tango with these tender, essential elements of life. This rich work is what continually fascinates and excites me about money work. It is utterly life changing. I like the way she does the words. It's like tango with this tender, essential elements of life.
I highlighted that too.
Awesome. And yeah, I think a close friend of ours, I think, does the Data's anonymous work. And I think that's what they do is have like a spiritual, sacred, even relationship with money and all that to treat it like a real relationship practice, right?
Mm.
So there's the safety aspect, and I like the way she framed it in terms of yeah, a lot of people talk about post-traumatic stress, but there's a counterbalance to that. It doesn't need stress doesn't always have to be to lead to trauma. It could also lead to growth, which is
Uh-huh.
dramatic growth, and I like that. And I hope that's what I'm experiencing after my stress period. It's growth instead of trauma. So it doesn't always have to be trauma after stress. And I like the way how she highlighted that, and also how she says that for some people, maybe me, keeping tabs on money might be a good step to feel safe. So I know what's coming in, what's coming out, instead of being vague about it. But then she also said some people overdo it. So like they check the bank account every minute or something. So for those people, it may be less less checking of the numbers. So I like the
Yeah,
way
everyone's
that's
different.
and and I like when she says, "Here's the truth: we all go through different phases and cycles in life, ups and downs, abundance and scarcity. But we can learn to cultivate a deep inner sense of safety that helps us feel calm and secure, no matter what's happening around us." And I think that's a good place to be in. Like things come and go, and yeah, really, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? You lose everything, like financially, but as long as I'm still healthy and I still have me and my mind, then it's still good, right?
Yeah, it ties into what she says throughout the chapter about the enoughness.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about that?
Um, let's see, I'm getting to that.
Yeah. Or I could just.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, she says a lot. For instance, sometimes a few teensy shifts can transform not enough into enough for now. When you're stuck in a not enoughness loop,
Mm-hmm.
it can feel like you have nothing to be grateful for.
Yeah.
But when you go looking, you will absolutely find things. Try making a list of big and small things you're grateful for, and don't stop until you find 50. The roof over your head, the coffee in your mug, the man who smiled at you on the train this morning, etc. Or you might to make it a habit to name one thing you were grateful for that day when you get into bed at night.
Nice.
And this ties into to safety,
Yeah.
because yeah, even at your darkest moments, even on the days when you feel like you have the smallest amount of money, if you have a grateful heart, you're gonna still find joy no matter what.
Yeah, and I think I read somewhere else or someone or maybe in a podcast that when people go through this career change, or when people follow when we follow our heart and follow what we want to do instead of just worrying about the paycheck, people panic because how am I going to do it? But the best place to start is to have an inventory of what can I do. And that sort of happened to me, like when I found this freelance copywriting and storytelling work I'm doing now, which is regular, and I'm naturally that way. Like that's how I think. That's why I did design, because whenever I see something, I always come up with I play with ideas and words and writing. And now I go to this job or this freelance gig, and I just like yesterday I just came up with a total rebrand of the whole company.
Oh.
We've been in existence for like 20 years, and I just came up with a total reframe, and everything. So I like watching a lot of TED talks and that, and I just used. I think many people who listen to this would know Simon Sinek's The Why. So they were looking at their mission statement and vision statement. And to me, I just remember that, like, what's the why of this company? Why are we here?
Totally.
And I just came up with something based on because I've been writing about their history. I've been reading about the company and talking.
Oh, they didn't have a mission statement.
Hmm?
They did not have a mission
No, they
statement
do.
before?
They do. But that's what happens with most companies is you have a mission statement, but usually it's like the how to. It's not the why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so and based on what Simon Sinek talks about it, that's why I came out with the why, because most companies get confused with what's the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement. It gets to that detail, but he says to simplify it, just answer the question why. Why?
You should come speak to the company I work for.
Yeah, it's the why. Why?
That's awesome.
And then I just pitched it to the guy running the company, and he got it. His marketing guy got it, and we asked the other people, and they got it quickly. It's easy to remember. Yeah,
I think we should do this for our own lives, even like a mission
yeah.
statement and a vision statement for our lives. We should put this in the book.
I have, I
Yes,
have, I have
I don't
found
have
mine.
one for my life.
I have, I have mine, and I put it all in my social media. To me, it's about everything I do is helping people to be in desire, flow, and connection. So
Yeah, right. You
yeah, so that's my.
do.
So it's easy. So like we're doing this. We're doing this because it helps us to be in our desire. It, it helps us to flow with money, and it helps us to be connected. So it's just
Yeah.
3 words, simple. So it's like a simple check-in. All right, am I what I'm doing now? Is it helping me and other people to be in desire, flow, and connected?
Mhm.
So with that
Well,
copywriting,
there's the takeaway for
yes,
me.
that yeah, it's flowing. These people are getting more connected. You know, yeah.
We're dancing.
Like a classic example was Apple. Like their why was to be different from the status quo, and that's how they've played for
Mm.
years. And now they're in a bit of crisis mode because they become mainstream. How can you be different if you're the mainstream? So they need some soul
Yeah, well,
searching.
they're still awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you for that. That
Yeah,
was great. Feel very very touched. That was yeah. That was meaningful to me. Oh, can we talk about tuition?
titration or what?
Yeah, how do you say it?
Titration. I was amazing.
Titration. Okay.
I was just about to
Have
mention
you
that.
ever heard that word?
Yeah, it's it's different. The way she used it is different from the way it was used with in One Taste, the company that teaches orgasmic meditation. In One Taste, when they say
Oh, do you guys talk about this in the coaching program?
yeah, or in general, in when you work with the staff of
Okay,
people,
I want to hear.
but they use it differently. They use titration
Okay.
where, like you, Janice, let's say you wanna learn something from me, you stay with
I
me.
do.
Yeah, like you stay with me for long periods of time, and there's titration that happens. That's how they do it. Like, let's say by just being, let's say you stay with Nicole Dado, the founder of that company. If you stay with her and work with her, you titrate something. It's like a passing of, it's like a transmission, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when I think titration comes from chemistry, where you you have a compound and you titrate, you evaporate it, and then you condense
Well,
it.
yeah, I went and looked up the word, and it's a chemistry term.
Yeah, it's like to get the essence of something.
Yeah, cool.
It's a
It's
slow
the
process.
technique where a solution of known concentrate is used to determine the concentration of an unknown solution.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you want me to read what she says in the book about it, and then we can talk
Yeah, she has a
more?
different, she's a slightly different meaning than what I just said. So yeah, if you
Well,
could,
I mean, I'm actually a writer and was an English major, and I did not know the word. I
ah,
was super surprised. Yeah, like really threw me off. I was like, oh my god,
that's good.
I have no idea. That's how I ended up looking it up because I wasn't sure. And then even as you just heard, I still couldn't pronounce it.
That's good. That's good. You learned
Yay,
something new.
learning! Titration is the antidote to overwhelm. It's the practice of giving yourself the time you need to integrate each tiny step before moving on to the next.
Yeah.
For example, if you are learning a bookkeeping system, you might start with one, like downloading the system, and stop here, breathe, check in with yourself, and allow any feelings of danger or fear to dissipate before moving on to the next step. Once you're ready, tackle the next step. Perhaps it's spending 5 minutes learning how the system works. And then again, pause, integrate, breathe, and even celebrate this baby step. Anytime you start to feel overwhelmed, you can give yourself a moment to settle and feel safe. In this way, you can push your edges gently while honoring your limits. So not only did I learn a new word, yay, I'm trying a new system here whilst I'm in Ubud of tracking my expenses.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it mostly is like I spent $5 on lunch or like $7 on dinner. But I don't know, because my spending and my expenses are small during this time. I thought maybe it would be a good idea to use the travel to get into the habit. And so I did, this fancy sheet in my bullet journal to track my expenses and my balance. And I just finished my first week, and it hasn't stuck yet. Let's just say that. Like I haven't yet gotten in the habit of doing that each time I spend. And so, I mean, the Janice 6 months ago might have gotten super stressed and, just said, screw it.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what, I just need another week to, or maybe this isn't for me. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to take another week, give it another try. I'm not really sure what I'm going to change. And then at the end of the next week, I'll evaluate if maybe either the system isn't right for me, or if I've totally rocked it, or, tweak it again. But it was meaningful to me that she said once again in this chapter about taking the baby steps. Because, you can't judge yourself after just 1 week of trying to develop a habit.
Yeah, I'm hitting this titration concept in my university studies. I'm doing product design, and they have like I'm really behind everything because I take time. When I do something, I want it to penetrate me, but then they have like everyone's moving fast. They have deadlines, so a lot of students are handing in just to hand in something because it's a deadline.
It's the masculine and feminine again.
Yeah, but to me, it's like I want to do something good, but I still have to hand in something. So I was late in all my assessment. It's just crazy because my family
I
was
could have
like,
helped you.
no, take time. But then I think the compromise is just do that. But then after the semester, still do
You're
it.
hilarious.
Yeah, still do it. Like, and that's with uni anyway, because you never learn everything in university. It's really to open your eyes to what's there, and then when you like something, I continue doing it. So like I introduced some of the things I learned in university in my freelance job with this company, and the guy who's running it is like, yeah, we could use this. So it's I think that's a titration, is to really spend time to be soaked in it, use it all the time, not just to go mad about it and then hand in the thing and then forget about it. Like this whole series, or not this one, but my complex human series just came out of a subject on complexity I did, and I just kept on iterating. So with your system, just keep on iterating until you find something that works for you.
Yeah, I like what you're saying about both her usage of this word titration and one taste
Yeah.
usage, because I do feel, and I was thinking when I was reading this, that I would like so much to sort of manifest some type of mentor for
Yeah.
this area in my life. And so it's working in really well, what you're saying about them kind of suggesting that you stick with one person to learn from.
Yeah.
And like I have said a couple times, I'd really like to take her course next year. So maybe she'll sort of become, that person in this area.
Bari, you mean? That'll be awesome.
Yes, Barry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's why she does a year-long course. Maybe that's why it's such a long course, because of the titration again, right?
Yeah, nice. I
So
still can't say it. Titration.
titration.
I don't know why I wanted to keep the second T silent. I kept on saying tuition.
Well, it can be tuition, like learning something.
Tuition, yeah.
Right, and then with enoughness, I highlighted this, which is like in the mindset of scarcity, our relationship with money is an expression of fear, a fear that drives us in an endless and unfulfilling chase for more, or into compromises that promise a way out of the chase or discomfort around money. So we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of disconnection and dissatisfaction. We
Mm.
begin to look outside of ourselves to be fulfilled. And then she gives us a way to cultivate enoughness by engaging with numbers, by deepening your emotional and spiritual relationship with money, or a combination of the two. I like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You are enough. You've got this.
Yes. And you are enough, but you can still want more if you want.
Yep, true.
And I like the other. Yeah, we could go through all of it, or we could just pick some.
Which part?
I mean, this chapter, like the whole chapter is. I find the whole chapter really useful for me. Yeah. Um, Maybe I'll share one more highlight that I
Okay.
really like. And so with this one, it's like about value. So
Ah, that was my next highlight.
yeah, he said, value is paradoxical, subjective, and so much deeper than confidence or even trust. This is about your fundamental self-worth as a human being. Value isn't something you earn, it's something you are. It's so good.
Go on.
Yeah. And I could relate that to, I go to another meditation school, the Clairvision school, and we have this story about angels. And then they have these angels watching humans. It's like, wow, these humans, they do a lot of things. Yeah, they go to work, they drive cars. Wow, they do a lot of things. And then the other angel says, yeah, but they don't know how to be.
They don't have to what?
To be.
To be.
Because the humans, and then the other side is humans asking, what do angels do?
They just sit around on clouds and
They
play
do. They
harps.
don't do angels. They're be. They're more being rather than doing. So I think that's something with the value. Who are you? And it's so symptomatic in our society that whenever you meet someone, usually the first thing you ask is, "What do you do?" It's
Oh my god, that's such a pet
who
peeve
are
of
you? You know,
mine.
like who are you being? It's always about doing something. So I guess
Mhm.
you need to practice more being and being. It's more like it's like the feminine, the yin way of like water. Water doesn't do anything. It just be by being water. It just by being the water principle. It adapts to anything. It doesn't do something. It's just is that thing that changes by just sticking to what it is. You know, it's like an interesting. It's it's so counterintuitive because everything in this in the world we live in is about what are you doing? What's on your calendar? What's in your
Yep. I
But
always like to ask someone something completely different when I first meet them.
uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I don't tend to ask people that. I like to ask, do you, like, how many siblings do you have, or if you have any tattoos, or if I've known someone for a couple weeks, I like to ask, just tell me something about you that I don't know.
That's
You're the
good.
last person to ever ask, what do you do? In fact, people think it's weird. They're like, why are you asking me if I have any tattoos? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm just something that interests me about people.
yeah. And another thing I've found through the work we're doing as well is asking people how are you feeling. The feeling check-in instead of just people rarely do that really. We always say how are you and then it's just good. And surely it can't be good every day.
Yeah, and I don't want to say, oh, I'm shit. I'm either shit or I'm good.
So I guess that's one thing we could do more in society is really checking with how people are feeling, the real thing.
Yeah, and the actual complexities of, the experience that exists in 24 hours.
And I like the way, like with our orgasmic work, we could just say, "How are you feeling?" You could just say, "I'm feeling this tightness in my chest."
Mm-hmm.
Do it in a non-value way, in a way you're not judging yourself. I'm not judging myself. When I say I feel a tightness in my chest, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying what's happening. I'm not
Yep.
saying it's bad or good. I feel this electricity in my head. That's just what it is. And I guess, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe you could do that for money. You could just say, "How's your money situation?" Well, there's this right at the moment. There's more coming in than like a value neutral way of.
I'd be like, I feel a queasiness in my belly. Just kidding.
You could do that too. That's a body checking.
No, it's not like that anymore.
And I like the way when she says, "Be willing to be uncomfortable." But author Barbara Staney told me once that the number one prerequisite to making money is this unwillingness. It's this willingness to be uncomfortable.
To be what?
To making more money is this willingness to be uncomfortable.
Yep, that's
And I
true.
think why billionaires and entrepreneurs get to where they are because they were willing to take big risks that most people who really make, like most of them drop out of school. They don't follow the usual safety, the
Yep, of
usual,
just going to college, getting a job.
yeah, getting all the tech. It's funny. There's this new video by JP Sears about. Have you seen that about going to
No.
college? It's so funny. It's like maybe we should try that. We should.
Are you gonna put it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
While I find it, do you want to say something to close off your side? Like what?
Oh yeah, actually, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about this necessarily, but I was really interested in her bringing up the under earners anonymous. I just wanted to point out that I had never heard of that before, and that I thought it was interesting. And I keep a running list of things that I want to read about or research in my bullet journal, and I had added under earning to the list. Yeah, just because that was something else that I had never heard of before. So I would, yeah, want to
Awesome.
learn more about that. Yeah.
That's good. I was just talking to someone about this the other day about because I spent a lot of money. That's why I'm in this financial tightness. I spent a lot of money for my personal development. And unlike most, not I don't know how the statistics, but a lot of people are resentful about that. In a way, they feel that they've been tricked to pay all this money for all this development. But I see it the other way around. I see it that because I've spent this much on me, I could see the value I place on development. And because I paid that, I feel more confident to charge that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yep.
if I offer something like that which I received, then I'll be more comfortable to really charge the right. See, I think Barry says the way that it's sustainable for you and feels good to you.
Yep.
And I think before I was trying Airtasker. I think we mentioned that in one of the previous episodes. And what I see with Airtasker is there's a lot of beating down. It's all about. I just don't know if that's a good way to. If it's just a price war for
I
service.
was so turned off of when
Yeah.
I went on that app. I was so turned off by the energy of
Yeah,
it that I could like not get into it at all.
yeah. That's why I stopped as well because it's just like it's like a stock exchange. It's just like
Yeah, no, that was
overbid
not for
and
me.
all the discussions and I also see people they bid on everything. So it makes me wonder what do these people offer?
Well, yeah, and it just felt like the whole attitude of it was just coming from such a place of desperation. And this is no offense to anyone who likes it, but the people who were presenting the jobs want to pay the bare minimum. The people who want the jobs, oops, sorry, the people who want the jobs, want to take the bare minimum, and it didn't feel abundant or
Yeah, there's something there. I don't know if it's just the market participants. I mean, it's a good idea, but
it works for a lot of people. Just wasn't for me.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a good discovery way to find people, and then yeah,
Yep.
it's an interesting thing. But yeah, the not so good thing about it is that how do you value yourself and you're just freaking out that someone's charging half of what you wanted to charge. So what do you do there?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know about that. It's kind of interesting, but it was good. It was good to try it just to see what to go there. And the last one I have is our value ripens with age. Time is on our side with this one. I like it. Trust and self love are muscles. Work them and they'll get stronger. Trust the timing of your life. I like it. And I'm
Yes.
gonna do a vid. I'm gonna do I post these things on Instagram and Facebook and other media where I just have a photo and a quote. I'm gonna have that quote. Trust the timing of your life.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right. Maybe let's end with a JP Sears video. Try something.
Okay.
I'll just play the video and then after the video we'll say goodbye to people, right? So
I agree.
don't hang up yet.
I'll never hang up on you.
Oh, it's so good. It feels safe. Do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, let's do it.
I know that the most intelligent way to start making a lot of money is to find a way to get at least $100,000 in debt before you even begin making money. I decided to go to college. College isn't for most people. It's for all people. If you don't get a degree, then you're declaring you want to be homeless, unhappy, and a failure for the rest of your life. Having a
So
college
good.
degree has now been the standard for so long that everyone in the workforce has one. So you having one makes you just like everyone else. And at the same time, somehow your degree sets you apart from everyone else. If you don't know how this helps you, then you're not very intelligent. You clearly didn't go to college. My college degree is social validation that I'm someone. I earned it. And I earned it by paying for it. There's no
His facial expression.
that I'm an intelligent person capable of success and doing big things in the world. Imagine if people were born with innate brilliance, potential, vision, creativity, and ability. Then we wouldn't need college. But that's the fantasy world that we live in. So I think it's important to acknowledge that those innate qualities are only found in university educations. If you don't go to college, there's no chance that you'll have a successful career. Success isn't dependent on hard work, vision, and creativity. It's dependent on the degree you achieve before you start achieving in your career. I can't be successful who doesn't have a degree. Not a person. Especially not anybody that inspires me. More than the $100,000 of tuition costs for a degree is all the interest that I have the opportunity to pay on that loan. This adds even more value to my college education because it means I pay more for my education than what my education costs. For my education. Teachers the subject rather than actually doing the subject out in the world are the true purveyors of wisdom. They're basically like the wise elders in our society. And they're definitely the wise sages that I'm willing to go into debt for half my life for so that I can learn from them. From early on,
He's trying not to laugh.
I think that I need to do well in school so that I can get accepted into college so that I can have a successful career. Because that's what I was taught to think. I think that's what I actually think. And a degree is not only a guarantee that I'll have a successful future, but I also think that it's the only way I can have a successful future. And that's a fact. Because there isn't a way to get free information about anything anytime you want it, I think universities are completely justified in charging their customers the prices that they do. 30 years ago, a college degree would set you apart. It means it still does today. A horse and buggy was the most effective form of transportation. Then came cars, then came airplanes, but even still to this day, Horse and buggy is the most effective form of transportation. Now that I'm out of college, I'm unemployed. The last job for 3 days, I was hired by an 18-year-old tech entrepreneur, but then he said he had to let me go because I lacked the practical skills to get my job done well. He didn't even know that I have a degree. He probably doesn't even know what a degree is. He thinks I'm Celsius or something. Actually, what can I do? Here's my new plan. Take all the skills I learned in my MBA and open a video rental store.
Love it.
God, he is all over the place.
It's so good.
Yeah, I know. It's brilliant.
He actually went to my CP, so you saw him live, and he talked about.
Oh, right. I thought you meant he was a student in CP.
No, he lectured.
Yeah, right. I saw.
And it's funny, like he lectured. So he has this. It's like making fun of spirituality and stuff. And then he gave a proper spiritual lecture where it's serious. And oh my God, that was the bomb. He's actually the truth.
And he's a redhead. I like redheads.
He's so good. He's a good guy. So that wraps up the philosophy section. So the next chapter, we start on the practical stuff, right? Are you excited?
Yay!
So phase 2 is money practices. Oh. Right.
I'm totally ready.
All right.
Woo!
Any last words before your camera collapses?
No last words really. It was meaningful to me. I do want to just express gratitude to you personally. I feel like you have really been there for me recently, and I appreciated the support that you gave me on my birthday. So I wanted to publicly let you know that I really appreciate having you in my life, and collaborating with you on this is great.
Thank you. And I'm just going to receive that fully. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Feels good.
I think so too.
By the way, that was a way to receive this when someone gives you a compliment. It's a good practice to just say thank you and receive it fully instead of saying, "Oh, it wasn't." Like,
oh shucks, that was nothing.
Yeah. That was like the way I was before I really started to. Hang on, there's a practice of just receiving it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And sometimes it's even harder to receive a compliment than a criticism. It's a weird world.
It is a much different sensation, but if you can
learn
to be comfortable with it, it's like so juicy. Yep.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, subscribers. We love you for subscribing and listening to us. And I hope you're getting a lot of this out of this. And we hope you buy the book and say hello to Bari. She's always watching and commenting.
Hey, Bari.
Yeah. And yes, we'll see you. So please like, subscribe, comment, share it with people. And we'll see you on the next episode where we start with the practices side of the book. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.